you had the fastest personal best coming into the field. Did you expect that the race would unfold like the way it did tonight?
Yeah, I mean, I think there's so many talented women, and I think this year everyone getting on the line, we all had an equal opportunity. And, I think magical things happen when you're here. And especially this, as the Olympic trials, it only happens every 3-4 years, So I think anything can happen, and everyone has an equal chance when you line up on that line.
And Annie took it out in 3K and 3 flat, or 1K and 3 flat.
Yeah.
What was your reaction when you were hitting that?
Yeah, I mean, I personally didn't go with her. I think having a lot of international experience from the last couple years helped me see, okay, I kind of know what's going to be my best race strategy, and not going at that pace is going to be the best thing for myself. So I just let that go and then started to wind it down from there.
Courtney, how just special is it when not only you, but the first 9 women PR?
Yeah.
They're all now in the top 18 in U.S. history, and that's in a race where the top 2 women weren't even, in U.S. history aren't even in.
Yeah.
How special is that obviously much credit to Annie Rodenfels, but everybody collectively raised the level of the group.
Yeah, I think something that is really cool to think about is, 3 years ago, I came here and I was just hoping for the chance to be a dark horse and make that Olympic team, and now I can go and I can lead almost every U.S. woman to a PR. And that's something that's special, and I feel proud of the strength and how far I've been able to come over the last 3 years. And American steepling for the women, we're starting to make our marks again, and it's not just one, it's not just 2, it's everyone's here to raise the bar, and it's fun and special to be a part of that.
Courtney, there were 5 women still in contention with 500 meters to go, if not pushing maybe 450.
Yeah.
In those moments, how are you just positioning yourself and making sure you're staying clean over the barriers?
Yeah, I think that's the trick of the trade with the steeples. You have to respect every single barrier and every single water jump. With 300 to go, I really relied on my training, and I knew that we had worked very hard to make sure that I could wind down the last couple laps and really kick the last 300. So it was crazy to see that there were so many people still there, and it's fun, it's exciting, but yeah, it was definitely fun last 300 meters.
Yeah, definitely eventful. We mentioned the time, but for you, what are the emotions like coming away as a future, soon to be Olympian and running such a fast time?
Yeah, I mean, I'm really thrilled with that. That is, it's a new PR after the last 2 years, and something that I really thought about from last year is, even though I never got that PR last year, I never got that race for myself, the fruits of that labor were not done in vain. And now I'm starting to see it, and I'm like, okay, I can run 9.0s and run low 9.0s, and I can do that work myself. So now I'm just excited to have fun with it, and let's see how far we can go in Paris.
Do you think sub 9 is in the cards?
I think at some point in my life I do. We'll see when it is.
And you had some pretty good workouts this spring to kind of indicate that you're rounding into PR shape.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I knew that, and I also knew it was going to take 9.0s to make that team, and so I've worked really hard on getting a lot of strength and working on that barrier stuff. So
a lot of women seem to think it would take 9:10 to take sub 9:10 to make the team, but I think if you told someone at the start of the year there's not going to be an Emma Coburn or Courtney Ferris, and it's still going to take 9:07 to make the Olympic team, how did we get to that point in U.S. steepling?
Yeah, I think we kind of talked about it, that everyone's ready to elevate, and I love Courtney and I love Emma, and they have paved such an incredible path for American women's steepling, and so all credit to them. But sometimes when things happen and it feels like there's all 3 spots are always wide open, but when it starts to feel like it's more of a reality for everyone, when one star falls, another rises, and so I think it allows other people to be able to step up, myself included, and so and I think it just elevates it and it makes it fun, and it's exciting for the future of this sport, and we're starting to see a new wave of American women's steepling, and I'm excited to be a part of it.
In that respect,
what am I going to do to celebrate? Pizookies at BJ's. That's tradition. So.
Courtney, in that respect, like, I mean, I know how much it meant to you just to get the first one, and I mean, obviously now this is the first Olympics, but do you allow yourself to say, like, you know, I'm a fixture yet at this level? I mean, like, the consistency is indisputable.
Yeah. It's funny because coming into this race, I was like, I'm 25 years old, so I'm relatively very young, especially in this sport. But coming in, I was kind of the veteran, and that's a weird, unique feeling. But there's a lot of comfort in that, and you know, like I said, last Olympic trials, I was just like, oh man, if I'm really patient, maybe I can click that third spot, you know. And now it's like, I'm gonna go lead and I'm gonna make this honest, and everyone's gonna have to PR in order to make that team. And so, yeah, there's a lot of confidence in that, and it's just crazy to see how far I've come personally. And so, I'm just excited.
Courtney, I guess it's unique. You had a bit of time between the heats to the finals.
Yeah.
Those 2 days, how do you spend that continually staying locked in and ready to go? Because it could be easy to wander in those 2 days. How have you managed to stay so locked in and end up like this? Yeah,
I'm going to be honest. I'm really grateful for my experience with Worlds the last 2 years, because that's exactly the setup of Worlds and Olympics. And so because of that, I've kind of learned what I need to do for myself mentally, and really relying on the experience of that. And you got to allow yourself to not think about prelims once they're done, and you also can't think about finals. You got to just be a regular person for a second and do what you got to do. And everyone might do it differently, but that's what I've learned works for me.
You're an Olympian now.
Yeah.
If you could say anything to little Courtney, the girl who maybe always dreamed of this moment, and to young girls out there that are watching you achieve it, what would you have to say?
I would say keep believing in yourself. And obviously, the goal was always to be an Olympian. The goal is always to do the best that I can. But the win was getting to that line. And that will forever be the win for me. And I know for myself, I have gone through a lot of hard things, as have a lot of people, but I wanted to make sure that I was doing it for those young girls, that you can do really hard things and still achieve great things while going through hard things. And I would just tell little me to keep believing. And the rewards, they may come, they may never, but keep believing. That's always the worth it. That's the number one thing for sure.
Shout out Davis High.
Yep.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Good luck in Paris.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.